What is up? The Rasslin Word. Welcome on in, partner. Check out my Four Horsemen hat there. Check that bad boy out. From Lex Luger himself. Welcome to the show. It's been a long time, baby. About 2 months now. I think almost exactly 2 months. So this is going to be fun. Welcome to the show. Of course, we're starting out with the Sting theme. And, yeah, we're going to get right into talking about Sting. I'm still catching up on wrestling. I'm catching up on wrestling. I'm way behind. My regular wrestling that I watch, TNA, is, I think, back in May. WWE is, I think I've stopped on July 4th. July 4th. Because it was right after the last Saudi pay-per-view. And AEW, I'm now caught up to, I think, July. So, my next show, I'm going to do all AEW. We're going to cover that, catch up with that, and then I'll go back and do all the rest of them. So, regardless, I'm ranting. My name's Chris. Welcome to the Rasslin Word. So good to be here with you guys. And I'm just going to let it play. I'm just going to let it play. So, I have some really cool stuff. But first, I have to tell you, and I don't have the little... Shoot, I wish I had the... Oh, well, we're already in. I don't have the tag from the event. But I went to... Thankfully, it was such a cool experience. Wrestleverse, a part of Animeverse. In Chattanooga, Tennessee. I'm going to pop open a cold Pepsi Zero Sugar Wild Cherry. If you want to take a sip with me. And it was a dream come true. I met, finally, since the age of 3 that I can remember, this man has been a real life superhero to me, and I finally got to meet Sting at this event. Shout out to the promoters of this. It was a come together quick kind of thing. It's been a rough couple weeks. I've started back in school, and just had some health stuff going on. So, needless to say, this was needed. I got my Catitude Era shirt on, by the way, too. Let me just get that, knock that out. It's one of my favorite wrestling shirts from the Wrestle Crate, who we're going to also talk about in this show, because I got a Wrestle Crate UK box here. But yeah, Taker, Mankind, Stone Cold. So, anyway, where am I? What am I? Yeah. So, ended up not getting the passes. Let me just turn this down in case it's jamming you guys out there. Ended up not getting the Sting passes. They were sold out. They gave the advice, look, just come, get here as early as you can, and he's going to be here between noon and 3. There were other wrestlers there. Of course, there was anime people there, too. I don't know anything about anime, so I was there for wrestling only. Shout out to Lance there, too. I don't know if he ever watches these, but good seeing him here, and it's very cool to know that somebody right here at home, maybe even a bigger Sting fan than me. I don't know, but this is his, I guess at least his second time meeting him, so very cool. And I will post the thumbnail of the picture in this video, so that way everybody can see it. We did get to meet Sting. We did. We actually were the first in line. So shout out to Mama too, Moon Mama, for making that happen. Getting the hotel, the whole deal. She's awesome, man. And it was so cool to have the kids there. It was just such a cool experience. It was pretty easy for us. It was my first con, so it was really a cool experience. If you've never been to one and you ever get to go, at least go to one. I don't know if you can afford to go to many of them. I can't, but at least go to one. There were other wrestlers there. I'm going to talk about them too, but I just got to say right off the gate, Sting, it was surreal. You know, he comes out. We waited in line for, 3.5 hours to meet Sting. So we were right up at the front. I wore my Sting and RoboCop shirt from Pro Wrestling Crate. And he comes out and he does the wow, you know, and through the crowd, everyone's cheering, "Thank you, Sting! Thank you, Sting!" And you know, he kind of settles him down, acknowledges it, but then settles him down. He's always kind of been that way. Sting is exactly what I thought he would be. He's not overly talkative, you know. He's not like, you know, he's not like a loud. Oops. Hold on, guys. Sorry. Okay, so he's not like overly like, you know, personable, I guess I would say. Just the moment of meeting him, though, was so cool. He acknowledged the RoboCop and kind of laughed at it. I was like, "Oh, you remember that? Of course, you know, I remember that, yeah." So, and I got to tell him, you know, just what he's meant to me in my life. Sting's always just been my guy ever since I was a kid. Surfer Sting, way back in the day. And, yeah, just so cool. I got to tell him, you know, I've been watching you ever since, you know, my son is 3. He just turned 3 in July. I said, I've been watching you ever since I was his age, and this is just so cool. Such a moment. So that was really, really neat to meet him. He, you know, wasn't rude at all. Was kind of quick, I guess, and maybe that's just the way it is at these places. But it was awesome. It was an awesome experience. I did get a picture with him again. I'll post that. I also gave him a copy of my CD. I got to, if you know me. I do music too, if anybody's watching this. And I gave him a little Jesus statue, because that's one of the things that's always inspired me with Sting, is his willingness to talk about his faith. I keep dropping this. I'm sorry, guys. His faith and Christianity, and that's always been like one of the things that has been so awesome to me about it. Hopefully it'll stay there. Darby Allin playing now. The one thing I would have probably asked him about, without trying to sound offensive, I guess, is when he mentioned Darby Allin as being his favorite tag team partner, the crowd booed at that. And I was kind of offended at that myself, because I was thinking, dude, I grew up when Lex Luger was your partner. Come on, you know? Lex Luger was your best partner. But nonetheless, just my old school opinion, it was great to meet him. I don't think I would stand in line ever. Just gonna have to set this up, guys. I'm sorry, 3 times. You're just gonna have to deal with my head being semi-cut off. That's not a big worry, is it? I would probably not do that again unless it was for Ric Flair. And I've heard not so great things about meeting Ric Flair, but if my dad was there, that's the only way I would care to meet him. My dad, you know, Flair and Sting, that's been our guys. Ric Flair was supposed to be there. He ended up bailing out, canceling last minute. I don't know why. Sorry, guys. Let me see if I can find a... I hate to... What if I just did that? Okay. Maybe that. I'll just have to sit back. That should work. I don't think the music's knocking it over. And then, so we missed Ric Flair, which was okay, because we got to see a lot of other cool people. And Trish was also supposed to be there. She ended up canceling because of the passing of her mother. Very, very sad to hear about that. But, so yeah, there were other people there, though, that we did meet. I'm going to talk about them now. Just some cool experiences. I will say, I've not done a Rasslin Word in a while. We've lost Hulk Hogan since since the last show. What a loss. And like I said in my post, I did a little Real American tribute to him. There is no one... So I can scoot this back some, y'all. That'd be better. Okay. There is no one who is a guaranteed lock-in for a Mount Rushmore other than Hulk Hogan, in my eyes, right? I mean, it's that big of a deal. I'm sorry about all the clutter back there, guys. I've not really been able to work on this room like I want to yet, but what a loss. What a tragedy. I really didn't expect it, and it really hurt me, you know, to hear it. It was a big loss for any wrestling fan. So, all right. We did not meet the Hardy Boys at the show, but Lita was there. I did not get to meet Lita. I actually took a figure of Lita's. I took this figure. I did not get it signed, but it was my plan. There were just so many others, and honestly, by that point, you know, it was after meeting Sting and then these other guys, just kind of out of the budget. I did talk to Danhausen in passing. I said, "What's up, Danhausen?" He said, "Oh, hello there." And we just kept on walking. That was it. Kevin Nash was right beside of the table. Again, kind of like Sting, not a big talker. He was great with the kids, though, as was Sting, which, you know, is a big thing, of course. But he wasn't a talker. I did ask him about the rumors of him going to high school where I live, here at Powell Valley, because that was a rumor, by the way. Of course, he dismissed that. I'm from Detroit pretty easily. But this was a Funko Pop I already had, and it is officially signed in person by Diesel. Very, very cool, nonetheless. And he is a tall guy, I got to say. I wish I would have took the Super Shredder Funko that I had, but I didn't think about it till last minute after I was already gone, so that didn't happen. I had some Kevin Nash figures, but I don't know. I went with the Diesel. I don't know. I must save these guys for last, because they were my favorite. Oh, I do have the badge. There it is. Animeverse, Tennessee, Wrestleverse, Fest Chattanooga, Saturday only. There it is. Very cool. So let's wear it now, just for good luck. Maybe I'll hear back from Sting. He'll like the music and turn it on to TK. Or I also did give Kevin Nash a CD too. Maybe he'll turn it over to Triple H and get the music in there. You never know. I did talk to Lex Luger. I mentioned that. I got Lex Luger. I got the hat from him. I didn't get a signature or an auto, but he was super nice. Seemed super genuine, super humble. I did not get to meet Ron Simmons. He was there. I was hoping to at least talk to him. Ricky Steamboat was there. I heard nothing but good things about both of them. Kane was also there. I did not get to talk to Kane. He is the mayor of Knoxville, or Knox County, so he's not too far from here. And comes kind of around often, so maybe someday I'll get to run into him. And, of course, I mentioned Lita. Karrion Kross and Scarlett were there, which was very weird to see, considering they were just recently on TV. At least the last time I was watching WWE. So now they're off TV. But they filled in for Flair. I did not get to talk to them. You know, because I didn't want to talk to these people unless I was going to buy something from them. I have autographs from the people that I didn't get to talk to. So, and I didn't want to shell out more money for the picture. As much as I would have liked to, I just couldn't. This was more than enough. Trust me. So, and I've already got a Sting auto, so I didn't have to get that. And Sammy Guevara was there. Ty Mello was supposed to be there. I never saw her. I don't know. I felt bad for Sammy Guevara. The drawing power is just not there with these young dudes. Maybe specifically AEW guys. He had very little people. He spent most of the time sitting there on his phone. I felt bad for the dude. But I gotta tell you, my favorite, by far, of the whole event, the Steiner brothers. Believe it or not, Because I actually heard negative things about Scott while in line. Oh, he wasn't much of a talker today. Well, that's true. He didn't talk that much. He did give me the fist bump. Kevin Nash gave me the handshake. You know, so I mean, I appreciate that. But Rick was so cool, down to earth. I think he's a school teacher too. Maybe like did something for mayor or whatever. But I did not get a picture with them. Rick was so nice though. I gotta say, I mentioned Braun. Of course, I mentioned Scott's son. Are we gonna see a real life Steiner brothers? A new age Steiner brothers? We'll see. But he was so nice. I can't say enough good things about him. I had not seen this figure ever. This is the Matt Maniacs, and it is signed. It was a hefty chunk, but it's a great set. I wanted something signed by both of them, and I didn't have a 2-pack with them, so especially in their old gear. Kind of reminds me of the Hasbros. So there you go. That was my experience. Rick was easily my favorite. What are you gonna do? It was a great time. Okay, now let's get right into it. As Kenny Omega plays us off here, some figs, some new additions. Let me just go down the list here, actually. Since we've last been on, I found Tommaso Ciampa at an Ollie store for $12.99. I'd been looking for a Tommaso Ciampa, not exactly this particular one. I wanted one more from his beginning days, but probably not going to be easy to find, especially for a $12.99 price point. So there you go, kind of matching the Johnny Gargano that I got a while back. So Ollie's, always look at your Ollies. Been wanting to get back out there and see if they have those outsider pack from ringside, which would have been great. I saw this Christian Cage in Walmart. I could not pass up. I do have a Christian Cage from AEW, but this one fits more of the persona that I like from Christian. So more of the patriarch. So I will have that original Christian Cage figure for sale if you're interested in that. But I had to get that one. Had to pick that one up. So that's two that I've recently gotten. I think I've shown the lead on here before. That I was going to get signed. Maybe someday get that signed. I don't know. We'll see. I also did get some other things. Yeah. Oh, here we go. Have to move it along here. I did get an Andre Chase. First time in the line. I don't even know if this dude is still on NXT. It's gotten a little jacked up since I last... Check that out, though. I was a fan of the Chase U gimmick, and I love first time in the line figs. So, had to get a main event. Andre Chase U. I was kind of indecisive on this one, and then I thought, you know what? I don't know that I actually have any of him, and I don't like it when it has the 316 on it. Believe it or not, I don't think this one does. No. Meow.
He did it. Francis had gone from having nothing
What does this say?
to something. Start your story.
Meow. I don't know. Anyway, if it says 316 on it, I don't get it. I mean, talk crap on me all you want or whatever, but I just don't feel right about it. So I got the Stone Cold Ultimate here. He's got the beer cans. He's got the shirt. He's got the handcuffs. This is when he went to jail. Right there. So, Stone Cold Ultimate. Then, move over here. I found this guy, which I've been looking for too. Again, it's a few months worth of figures, so don't judge me here. I would maybe have liked to have had the TNA version of this guy. But at the same time, you know, when you find a deal, you go with